Hey everyone, this is Amy with Simply Elizabeth Crafts, and today's Facebook is not going to be live because I was on vacation all last week, and so now I have to work a little late at my full-time job, kind of get things caught up. So I, of course, still want you to have a video when I am not available to give it to you live. So we are going to do paper pumpkin alternatives, and I've got 3 different projects for you that will be alternatives from what the actual kit was intended to be. Before we get started, I just want to go over a couple of things. Don't forget that we have Club. Club is 5 different projects this go around. So you've got 4 cards and then 1 little bag. Club will also include some embellishments. It'll include a ribbon. You can add on the bundle for the actual cost of the bundle. It's got a punch and then of course a stamp set. I don't have the stamp set over here at the moment because I was working on something else with it. But Club is $39. You pay for it each month, and each month for the $39 you get all of that, plus the video and also the PDF to go along with it. So if you're interested in that, there's a link in the description of this video that you can add, that you can go in and actually subscribe to it there. Let's see. I also have bingo that is going on. Last day to register for that is July the 16th. It's $45 and it's at Murray's Neighborhood restaurant. And let's see, the bingo includes 6 rounds of bingo. It has appetizers. You get 4 make and takes. You get a little thank you gift. You get a little coupon off for ordering that day. And then of course all the prizes are from the new catalog. If you're interested in that, make sure that you click in the description of this video because there's a link for you to register for that. And then the last thing for today is the paper share. I still do have some paper shares that I'm willing to do. I'm going to take it all the way through to the end of July just because there's a lot of Christmas paper, and since Christmas is so far away, why not just keep it open all month? So if you're interested in that, there's a link in the description of the video for that as well. And then actually the last thing is, don't forget that right now in July and August, we have our celebration going on. So for there's $50 category, $100 category, you can get free items, but you can also join Stampin' Up. You can join the Stampin' Grace team. And right now for July and August, you get added on to your starter kit this beautiful planner. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. It's got these little dividers. There's plenty left. So not only would it get you through the next year from July now all the way through next year, or all the way to next year, but it'll get you through to the end of next year, I believe. So, but anyway, that's that. It comes with this stamp set as well. All right. I think that's it. There's always a ton of stuff, right? Always. Okay, I think I might have to pull my actual inks because I think I pulled them to use for something else, but I'll grab those. All right, I'm pulling everything out. Okay, I want to show you really quick just some cards already. So this is that card and that one, and then let's see, I think it's, and then this one. These are the way they were intended to be created. I'm gonna make sure that that is correct. Actually, no, it's not. Nope, it's this one. There we go. So you've got those 3 right there. This is how they were intended to be created. And then I made my 3 alternatives that we're gonna make for today's video. And then with what I had left over, I also made these. This right here is using the mini envelope pouch die. So I just stuck the bread and then cut some foliage from the Coming Home, I think, or something like that. One of the dies in the annual catalog. So yeah, and then I just went ahead and used up all the cheese that I had to cover up the bottom. But lots of projects can be created with this one set. Okay, so let's do this that I'm gonna need. So we're gonna pull that one out. Here is the stamp set, just so you can kind of see it. I'll pull it up. It's got a big hello, and it's got that stem of flowers and all of that. So you can see we're not going to use quite as many stamp sets on our alternatives, but here is our first one. And I will tell you that we do not have a blog post to go along with this one, just because I had to get out club, I had to get out, I wanted to still do the video, and I needed to get out 3 other classes that I have going on right now. So there was no way I could do a blog post with all that and still go on vacation. So I did give up doing the blog post this week, but if you have questions, just let me know, okay? All right, so I'm gonna adhere this piece of vellum to the front of our card base. Sometimes you have to sacrifice certain things to make sure you get all the important stuff done, right? All right, so then we're gonna take this. I'm gonna pull in my grid paper because I want to stamp this leafy flower, and I want to do it at different levels at the bottom here. So I want to make sure that I do it right. Okay, so we are going to do mint macaroon, and I've got it here, and we're gonna stamp it at full strength. Then we're gonna stamp it off a couple times because we definitely want it to be all kind of different colors, different shades. And because if I go down when I stamp it at full strength, then I want to make sure that I actually ink it back up and then stamp it off again, because otherwise it may not do right. You'll have like half dark, half light. All right, and then let's do a dark one. All right, let's do one more up here at full strength. Okay, so there we go. And then we're gonna take a Calypso Coral, and then we're gonna stamp hello at the very top of it, right up here. And I just wanted that hello to really stand out, so that's why I did the Calypso Coral with it. We will take some linen thread after I close this up so that I don't have it all over me. Maybe if I can get it open, there we go. And then we will take and wrap it around several times. 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to tie a big bow on this side. Like that. Make it just a little smaller. Not much smaller. Okay, and then we're going to trim off our tails. Oops. That didn't want to trim off, did it? There we go. And then we will adhere it to our card front. And I'm going to actually use some dimensionals to do that. So I'm going to flip this around. I'm going to spread that out just a little bit like that. All right, so put 3 more on there. There, there, and there. And we will stick it on the front. Like that, yay. And then the last thing I want to do is I'm just going to take that same stamp that we had. I'm going to put a couple on the corner over here, put one there, and then another one right there, and then one right there. Okay, we're going to take this and then we're going to stick it on the inside of our card so that you can write on it. And then you are done with card number 1. So I only brought in, I brought in the card base, basically the cardstock and the linen thread to create this card, but I used the stamp set, only those stamps from the stamp set. Okay. Now card number 2 is going to be this one right here. And this one is going to require some cutting, which is fine. We can all do a little fussy cutting, right? There's no harm in doing a little fussy cutting. So we're going to cut off this top and turn it into a basket. And I'm doing it the wrong way. I need to, apparently I already have vacation brain. All right, and I'm going just a little slower on this one just because it is scalloped edge and I don't do real great with scalloped edges. Okay, there we go. Now, while I'm already here, we're going to be using this on our next project. So I'm going to go ahead, since I've got it, I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. No reason to come back to it in a little while when I can cut it out now. And then we're going to set that side, that little piece aside. I love this little cart. It's so cute. It is very, very cute. And I'm not being too particular about the flowers. It's really not going to be a big deal on that project. I'm just kind of leaving that background. All right, and then we're going to go around, and then go down. So there we go. Okay, so we're going to just set that aside. No problem at all. Then we are going to take and fold our card base in half. And then we're going to take this piece and we're going to put dimensionals on the back. I'm going to actually put 6 just because it is longer. I want to make sure that middle holds up. Okay, we're not going to take the backings off, but I'm going to lay this right down here. And what I want to do is I want to put adhesive on. Oh, actually, before we do that, I forgot. We are going to stamp this right here. We're going to stamp it with Calypso Coral. And I don't have my cleaning tool with me, so I'm just going to stamp it a million times on here to get that mint macaroon off. All right, so now we're just going to stamp these up here a couple times. I did it twice on this one, but you can see it didn't really come through, so I want to make sure that I get them up just a little bit higher this time. And then, actually I'm good with that. Okay, so 3 times. Then we're gonna lay this down right here, and we're gonna stick some adhesive on these. I'm gonna put a glue dot at the top because I wanna make sure that this stays adhered down. So we'll put a glue dot up here. And then we're going to stick it in. And I want to make sure that you can see the Calypso coral ones, okay? All right, and then we'll repeat that with the next 2. I'll put this one here. We're gonna cut off a little bit of this one here in the center. Put some adhesive. Put a glue dot. And then we will stick this one down. And we're gonna turn it like this so that you can get the 3 Calypso corals there. All right, the next thing I wanna do is I want to take and put my loaves of bread in there. I'm gonna put a glue dot on each end. And I'm gonna stick them right on in. We'll put one here. Stick that one there. And I only have 4 loaves left. Oh, nope, it's in the box. I was gonna say, I swear I had 5. All right. And then this one will go right about here. We'll stick this one in like that. Okay, and then we'll take this one, put it on the opposite side. Right about here. And then we'll take the other loaf, the last loaf, and we'll stick it right here. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and stamp our sentiment at the very top, and we're gonna use that Calypso coral again. We're gonna stamp hello right there. Then we will take off our dimensionals on our now little basket, and then we will adhere it over the bottom of all this, like that. We will take some of that linen thread again, and we're gonna tie a bow. Like that. Then we'll trim off the ends, grab a glue dot, and then we will roll the glue dot on top of itself. Make sure that there's no adhesive showing, and then put it down right there. And then that is card number 2. It has white on the inside, so you don't have to worry about adding any piece to that. Okay, so card number 2. And these are definitely quick and easy. And I'm gonna show you before we do the last one. There are still tons of pieces. Well, there's not a ton, but you still have 1 cart left. You've got some of these little sentiment strips here that you could do. And there's plenty, so you still have plenty, and there's even 1 loaf left. So there's still plenty of stuff that you can do and create something else. Oops. Okay, so here is our last card. We are gonna take our crushed curry here. We're gonna fold it in half. We're gonna set it aside for just a minute. We are gonna take our little piece of grid paper again. We're gonna take Calypso Coral. We're gonna take our blending brush and we're gonna ink up here on this side of our cardstock. Okay, and then we will take and start building our pieces together. Okay, so I have this right here, this piece. I actually want to cut it. I'm gonna fussy cut it. We're just gonna cut it right down the center right here, because we want to, and I'm gonna actually trim off all this extra little white stuff just because we don't, it'll help kind of make it all go together smooth. Okay, so we'll trim that off and then we'll trim a little bit more of this white off. Okay, we're gonna adhere that right about there. Actually, before we do that, we need to put on this piece right here. Let's take this, we're gonna put it down the center and to the bottom and adhere it right there. Okay, so now we'll put this here and it's gonna go off just a little bit, but that's okay because this is smaller than our card base, so we'll be fine. Then we're gonna take the strawberries and we're gonna cut off this extra white stuff as well. And I'm just doing it pretty quick. I'm not being real particular about it. I just don't want that much white showing. All right, then let's cut off this little bit here and we're gonna cut off that blue so that you can't see it. Okay, so there we go. Now that we got all that out the way, then this is gonna go right about here. And now what we wanna do is we wanna kind of cover up everything. So let's go ahead and adhere these down. These are gonna be flat. So that's gonna hang off a little bit there. And then this one will hang off like this. Okay, then we are going to take this strawberry here and we're going to cut off the blueberry. And the reason we're going to cut off the blueberry is you won't be able to see it anyway. And we're going to adhere it right about here this go around, because on this one I put the plant over and you can't see it, so I figured on this one we will make it look like it's there. Okay, so we're gonna stick this one right about here. Then we'll put adhesive on it, lay it down at an angle, and this one we're gonna pop up. Okay, so then we're gonna pop this one up with dimensionals. So we'll grab 3 dimensionals for this one. Then we are gonna tuck it right here. So it's hanging off with this other blueberry as well. And then we're gonna take this blueberry and we're gonna pop it right here. And I'm gonna put a dimensional on the back of it as well. Whoops. My light fell. Okay, so we're gonna stick this right there. Now we're gonna take and adhere this piece here, And actually, we're gonna need to cut off this strawberry here because I need that bottom to show. And it's too far down. All right. Sometimes you gotta do a little surgery. But that's okay. Nobody's gonna see that bottom part there, okay? All right, so let's do this now because we wanna see a little bit of that vellum down there at the bottom. So we're just gonna chop all this off. All right, and then this is gonna lay across there. And you can't even see that, so let's move it up. We'll adhere this in just a second. We'll leave that blueberry off. All right, let's take our adhesive. We're gonna put 2 dimensionals on this end. And then that's gonna have that. Like that. And then let's take this blueberry and pop it in right here. Like that. There we go. You know what? We're actually gonna stick it in right here. Perfect. Then we want to take our sentiment and we're gonna do You Are the Sweetest. We're gonna actually ink it up in Starry Sky. We'll stamp it right down there on that. We're gonna flip it over, put some adhesive on it, and then tuck it down right there. Ta-da! Then I think that's it with the stamping. It is. We are gonna take that little pot that we cut out. We're gonna put a dimensional at the top. And then a dimensional kind of right here. We want to make sure that it's holding up. Then we will put adhesive there. Take off those backs. Sit it right there. Then we're going to take some linen thread. And I used all the linen thread that came in the kit. Of course, y'all know I did that because you know how much I love linen thread. So it does not hurt my feelings at all to be able to use lots of it for this kit. We'll take a glue dot, put it on the back. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and take it off. I'm going to ball it up real good. Stick it right there on my pot. Put my bow right on top. And then cut off my tails. And I'm okay with this one being a little longer just because it'll kind of fill out that bottom part as well. So then we're going to flip it over, put more dimensionals on it. Take off those backings. And then stick it on our card front. We want to make sure that none of that sticks off the edge. So we're going to put it over far enough. And then we will put on the inside a piece of our basic white. You can stamp the strawberries from the stamp set or you can stamp the blueberries, whichever you prefer. I did 2 strawberries on the sample one, but I'm just going to adhere this piece in for now. Just like this. And then that is it. That is the 3 alternatives for Paper Pumpkin this month. All right, I'm going to get all my trash out the way. I'm going to bring in all the cards that we did for our alternatives. And then if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you on Monday next week for Facebook Live. Bye, y'all.